His name's Arthur, and my name's Fonzarelli, and this is the Kickin' Ash Podcast.
Wasn't expecting that one.
Pulled it out of my ass, dude, right in the last second.
Yes, you did. You didn't know as of 26 seconds ago.
Nope. Just came to me in a vision. I was like, haven't seen Happy Days in a long time.
It has been a while, yeah.
It's a good show.
Oh, well, I was actually talking about it today. Some guy that looked like Mr. Cunningham came into the branch. So,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it made me think about it. So it's odd that you said that.
That's awesome. All right, so we are back, guys, and this is like, oh, please, everyone take note of Joey's holiday sweater. It's officially 2 days into December, so Joey's already broken out the sweater and ready to go.
It's a deer drinking a beer, in case you haven't seen it, and we are drinking beers too, aren't we, buddy?
Yes, absolutely. So we got a great episode for you guys tonight. Really exciting stuff coming up. Let's talk about we'll talk about what we're sipping right now. Sipping on Devil's Backbone's Cherry Pie Lager. Devil's Backbone is a local brewery. Probably about an hour from us. Yeah, what'd you say?
Yeah, about.
And they make some really great beers.
Yeah, they really do.
And I guess they brought this out for the holidays. And it's really good. It's got kind of like a tart cherry taste to it.
Yeah, it really does. It captures that really well. Tastes like the cherry preserves.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
A little bit of bitterness to it too. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yes. So why don't you talk about what we're pairing them with tonight?
Tonight, Logan and I are both smoking the Connecticut version of what we have highly praised, the Tyrannical Buck by Yasum Crow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was probably 2 days ago I texted Risty. Somebody made a post or something about the cigar, and I just can't stop praising the guy for his work. We had the Maduro Generosos. I don't really know how it's pronounced, but it's the Corona size. And the Maduro was fucking phenomenal. I haven't had any of the Connecticut yet.
Really?
Yeah, this is going to be the first Connecticut.
Awesome.
But I'm super stoked to try this. So that's what we're pairing it up with tonight. Risty was kind enough to reach out to us. I think after the first episode, actually.
Yeah, he saw our first episode.
Commented about our positivity, and he likes kind of what we've been talking about and what we've been doing. So he offered to send us some cigars from his new line, which Tyrannical Buck was his newer line, and let us try some of those out and talk about them. And I believe we have.
Yeah, we've pretty much, since that episode, and we smoked, like we said, the Maduro Generosos, we have been on a roll with this cigar.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of it. Now, I have smoked the Connecticut. I will say I definitely prefer the Maduro.
Oh, yeah. I figured that would be the way I like it.
Yeah. But that doesn't take away from the Connecticut. Connecticut is still an awesome cigar. These are just really well-constructed cigars. They have just phenomenal wrappers on them. They smell so amazing.
Yeah.
We said, we actually, me and him just split a box of them, of the Maduro Generosos for Black Friday.
Yep.
Found a really good deal on them, and it was the first thing that I pretty much searched for on Black Friday. Yep.
5.5 by 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some crow.
Yeah, so this has become for me the cigar that I get excited for people to try.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to see people's reaction to the cigar. You know, I have one buddy who I just introduced the cigar to, and he fell in love with it too. And just like that cigar, it's one of those cigars where you're like, I can't wait to show somebody else this cigar because it's just so good.
I'm pretty sure it was last week where I actually said that the Tyrannical Buck kind of rejuvenated me. Mm-hmm. Not to down any other cigar that I've smoked so far this year, or even if we just go from episode 1 to now. But the JSK, I've had a lot of really, really great cigars, but the JSK fucking blew me away.
Yeah.
Which, you know, you come across cigars where you're like, this is really good, I want more of these. Then you come across a cigar where you're like, this is fucking phenomenal, and I need more of these. Mm-hmm. And that's what the Tyrannical Buck has done for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, guys, stick around for the end of the episode. because we're gonna have a way for you to get yourself one of these Maduro Generosos and a couple other of the tyrannical bucks as well. And we'll have more info later on in this episode and also on our Facebook page tomorrow.
Correct.
So make sure you keep in tune for that. So that being said, I guess we got to light these things, right?
Yeah.
I was ready to just jump into the next thing, but
I guess we are.
The whole point of this is to smoke a cigar while we're doing it.
Well, true, but
talking about them is fun too.
We can't. I can't multitask well, so
neither can I.
I usually have to do one or the other. You know. This lighting in here is just enough that I can hardly ever see what I'm doing.
Yeah, we've still been kind of like having a go at the lighting for this thing.
I think it's good.
It's gonna improve though. We got a new camera coming on the way. We got some really exciting things. New stuff happening with Kickin Ash, and one of them actually we're gonna talk about after we get these lit up.
Have you had this Vitola of the Connecticut Tyrannical Buck?
No. I smoked the, I want to say, I swear I think it's called the Gollum, which is the 60 ring gauge. And it's very good. Definitely one of the better Connecticut's I've ever had.
The draw's a little bit tighter on this one.
Is it?
Than the Maduro. Not, I mean, that doesn't really factor into anything. It's not terrible.
Yeah, just some nice, like, creamy notes right off the bat.
Yeah, a little nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still very good.
Yeah, don't really have any pepper.
No, it's not. It's not too spicy. It's a little bit more earthy and sweet nuances throughout it. But I think it definitely, you can tell, like a lot of the flavors I picked up in the Maduro, as far as like the woody, nutty, earthy tones is in this. So it's just a little bit.
Yep.
A little bit more subdued because of the Connecticut. Probably it's a little bit sweeter.
Yeah, I would say it's just lacking that
earth tones instead of earth notes.
I would say it's like lacking that like very distinct sort of chocolatey coffee flavor you get though on the on the
Maduro is to me a sweeter wrapper. But this is killer so far.
Yeah.
So we'll keep getting into it.
And so
we'll do that.
So tell them a little bit about, you guys see on each episode we have we feature our nice little stinky ashtrays in the center of the table here.
Correct.
So tell them a little bit about our newest endeavor involving stinky ashtrays.
So Stinky Ashtray, or Stinky Cigar, is now sponsoring our episodes. We're going to be getting some products in here next couple weeks, I'm sure. We're going to do some reviews on some stuff. Stinky Ashtrays have been around since, I believe, 2004. So 15-year-old company. You see them in a lot of shops. You see them in a lot of other videos. You hear about them a lot. They're a little bit quiet on social media. And I know that's just because the founder just has his son kind of doing some of that stuff. But Stinky has agreed to send us some ashtrays for us to talk about and review, because we don't want everybody thinking that they just have this is my ashtray. This is hammered copper, and it's called the tall ashtray. Logan's is the box press, so the base is a little bit different on it. But one of the things that I like most about these is, first of all, I've dropped mine, knocked it off the table onto concrete. Doesn't dent, doesn't ding, doesn't scratch. So it's super durable. It's got what they call these stirrups you can set your cigar on. They're very durable as well. The ashtrays are really good quality. They're well constructed. And one of the things that I like the most, which this is one of the things that they are more or less famous for, is how it's technically windproof. because it's such a deep bowl. You have your more traditional, flatter, kind of more shallow ashtrays. You put, you know, 1 or 2 cigar buds in there after you're done. Your bands and your ash, it's already full, right? This holds a lot more. And because it's so deep, I mean, it goes up to my fucking wrist here. And because, you know, if the wind and shit blows, it's not going to blow all of your stuff out of it because it is deep. Which if you smoke out in the wind, or, you know, you have a little bit of a breeze or something, which here in Virginia lately, it's been really windy. So when I sit outside, I always have to take my stinky because it keeps everything in order.
Yeah.
But it's the only ashtrays that I own. I've been given some at events and so forth. Never use them. This is what I use. It's the only ashtray I use. It's the only ashtray I'll ever use. Just because they're so amazing to have 82 products is what they've expanded from or into.
Yeah, like you said, it's super durable. One of the things is, like, it's so super easy to clean. Also, like, you know, even, you know, like you're saying it's windproof and stuff, which for me, you know, with my stinky, I keep it here in the garage lounge. Yeah. So I don't really have to worry about wind, but I am constantly, like, I don't like to leave, you know, because we might, you know, ash 3-4 cigars in there, sometimes more. And then, you know, I don't want to leave it just kind of chilling, so I have, like, stale cigar scent.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So
it's true.
The nice thing is, like, just the material that it's, you know, made out of, you know, the ash doesn't, like, stick to it or get, you know, stuck in any nooks and crannies. It's nice and smooth. You rinse it out, maybe hit it with a little bit of soap and water, and boom, it looks like it's brand new again.
Yeah.
Like, it almost looks like you've never used it. And, you know, quite honestly, something we talk about a lot with cigars is just the look, you know, the look of it. I mean, they just look really good.
Yeah. I mean, out of 82 products, I would say the majority of those are colors and different. I mean, I don't know how well you can see this or not, but this is called hammered copper. So it's like got this old copper finish to it. And it's hammered out. So it's got a different pattern, but they have colors. I mean, you can even find people online that take these and they just have like a plain color, and then they'll have somebody paint something on there. So I mean, you can even use it as a canvas to express your artistic creativity.
Yeah,
so we've seen a lot of people do that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we're really happy to be partnering with Stinky, and just letting, you know, they gave us the opportunity to, you know, kind of feature their products. And you know, we've had this since day one. We've had our Stinky out here with no affiliation to them whatsoever. You know, we're only ever going to back products that we use and like, and you know, that's just the type of people we are. We don't want to, you know, be involved with something that we don't personally use and find of value. So
correct.
And Stinky is definitely something that we both use, we both love. Like you said, haven't really found another ashtray even close to them.
No.
And so so tell them about, I think we got a little bit of a promotion going with them as well. So if anybody wants to get a Stinky cigar,
we do.
Ashtray.
So if you go to the website stinkycigar.com, they actually have a contest that's going until December 12th. So you have just over 10 days for this contest. If you click on it, it's just featured right into their front page, the homepage of the website. You click on it, it says it mentions 33% off. So it has a little section where you can enter your name and your email address, and they'll give you a special offer for 33% off and details about the contest and how to win. And then also, they were gracious enough to give us a unique promo code.
So awesome.
So during checkout at stinkycigar.com, use the promo code KICKINASH. And that's no G, no apostrophe, just KICKINASH. And you can use that and get yourself a Stinky. Like I said, they've been around for a long time, respectable company. It's the only ashtray I'll ever use. And as mentioned, we weren't paid to do any of this. We weren't.
Nah.
It was just two very passionate groups of people talking about things, and just so happened that this is what worked out for us to kind of help each other out. And I'm very honored to be working with Stinky because I've had one for years and absolutely love it.
Yeah, I say I second that 100% wholeheartedly. So yeah, guys, check it out. Get yourself a Stinky. You won't be disappointed. Got a bunch of cool colors. got a bunch of cool products. And use our code because then they'll know that you were sent by us, and they'll be happy to see that.
And who doesn't want more money off?
I know, right?
Come
I
on.
mean, come on, guys. Sales right now. I mean, I just went and spent buku bucks on Black Friday on cigars.
Yeah.
I am at max capacity right now in my humidor. My humidor is completely full. I have 2 Tupperdoors that are literally could maybe hold 5 more cigars each, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
So I've got to either start smoking some cigars or expand somehow.
Oh, no, I just got this Winador, and that's filled, and I'm like, well, time to get another Winador.
Yeah, right. Maybe you should just, if I plan on getting a Winador, I might just go with the big daddy. I don't know, man.
I have to.
I don't know, but.
So, all things aside, stinkycigar.com. Go to the website. Check them out on social media. I know they're working towards getting a little bit more active on social media. So, tag them in your pictures and kind of get affiliated with them on social media. Great company. Go check out the website and check out the contest and use the code KICKINASH, and you can save even more money.
Absolutely.
So, all things said for that.
Yep.
What's going on in the news, buddy?
The news. Weekly cigar news. Started off on a light note. CIGAR is shipping a new lighter called the XK1 lighter. You may have seen some stuff about that out there.
CIGAR is always shipping something new.
I know, right? CIGAR's always got something new.
Yeah.
This one's kind of interesting. It is an angled flame. So the flame comes out at an angle, and the company says that provides clearer visibility when lighting the cigar, ensuring greater accuracy and avoiding charring the cigar wrapper. I know a few people who could use that. So yeah, I mean, it looks kind of cool. We're also big Zycar fans here.
Huge.
As well. Got a couple Zycar products on the table. Zycar, if you want to send us a code too, we wouldn't hate it. But this one looks kind of cool. It's a single flame, which, my Turum for me is probably going to be my only single flame ever. Don't really think I need another single flame. But it looks pretty cool. So if you guys are looking for a nice single flame lighter and you're looking for something new with an angled flame, that looks kind of cool. And so then we're moving on to an exciting news from one of our favorite cigar brands, who was featured in our top brands episode a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Which is Warped. They're shipping the Lirio Rojo. Lirio, am I saying that right? Lirio or Lirio?
I don't know. Whatever we want it to be, I guess.
I guess so. Kyle Gillis of Warp Cigars announced that his company has begun shipping its annual holiday exclusive. This year will be slightly different compared to the first 4 editions. The 2019 version is a 6 3/8 by 42 Lonsdale with a bullet cap.
It's interesting.
A slightly tapered cap that is similar to a torpedo. Ooh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Kyle Gillis has been very busy lately.
Yeah. I feel like every week we have news about them, like
doing something.
Coming out with something.
And I love it. I love to see it. It's awesome.
I'm excited to get into some different holiday exclusives this year, because I've really kind of missed out on those for a couple years now. So I'd really like to try these. Especially, I mean, that's right up our alley as far as Vitola is concerned. 42, 6
Lonsdale's a good size.
Yeah. And then I'm kind of a fan of torpedo caps, so I think you might be the opposite, but
well, it depends on the torpedo.
Yeah.
I mean, a bullet cap, it's hard for me to explain it, but I know it's a little bit it's a torpedo, but it's a little more dull, so it's a little bit
it's not as
more
hard
rounded.
Point.
Yeah. And I like regular torpedoes. I mean, it's just, I don't know, I'm a looker guy, and I just don't particularly think that a lot of torpedoes just look handsome, but it's, again, it's a preference thing. And
torpedoes, if you're listening, I think you're handsome. All right, so moving on with more holiday blend news.
This one I'm excited about.
Yeah, Viaje, who I feel like is the most has the most well-known holiday themed cigars, right?
I could agree with that.
Probably, I would say,
and I would say, Ezra Zion are probably the two that I always think about.
Yeah, same here. So they have released, or actually they have announced the upcoming release of their 2019 holiday blend. And It's actually, has it been named yet? Viaje launched, or they just call it the holiday blend, I guess is what they call
that's
it.
what I'm
Okay.
assuming. Yeah.
So one retailer is reporting it's a 5x50 for Robusto Gordo. $330 for a bundle of 30. That's a little steep, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know how much. What is that?
Yeah, I mean a bundle of 30.
Yeah, I mean 30's a good amount. What's that break down to per stick? Let me get my
About
trusty
10 something.
dusty calculator. Yeah, I guess that's like what?
It's like 10, just over $10.
11. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I can dig that.
That's definitely something you'd want to split with somebody. I would say.
Yeah. Well, I think
Also because I don't have room for 30 more cigars.
yeah, right. Can't be ordering 30 right now.
Right.
But I guess if you get together or you order a big holiday blend and then you give it out to everybody during the holidays too. So I understand why they're doing 30 for that. So if you guys are into the holiday blends, check out Viajes. Should be coming soon. And then basically moving on from there, just gonna touch on a little bit of legislation news. So this is something I think we're both passionate about. Me specifically, I'm pretty passionate about just the legislation that goes on in the tobacco industry. Sometimes like with this one, Massachusetts flavored tobacco ban is going into effect June 2020. Doesn't necessarily relate directly to cigars.
No, but it's a stepping stone.
Yeah. It's always good to pay attention to this stuff because once they start banning one thing, cigars are in the same vein.
I mean, flavored or not, they're going after tobacco.
So it says on June 1st, 2020, the sale of flavored tobacco products will be banned at most retailers in the state of Massachusetts.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. Governor Charlie Baker signed the new law into effect, which will also place a new 75% excise tax on vaping products and e-cigarettes. So this is kind of upsetting personally, just because as someone who used to smoke, like I know a lot of people use these things to quit smoking, cigarettes, which is a shame that they banned these things because, because why? Because it hurt, you can talk about reasons all you want, but when it comes down to it, it's because it's hurting big tobacco's pockets.
Yes.
So, thankfully cigars aren't, wrapped up in this. This ban includes flavorings like mint and menthol. But I wonder if that's on vaping. It doesn't say anything about cigarettes. So can you not buy menthol cigarettes? That'd be interesting.
I mean, that counts as flavored tobacco.
Right. Yeah. I would assume.
I wonder if they're kicking themselves in the nuts after reading that. I realize when we may have fucked up.
Yeah. They did say that businesses defined as smoking bars will still be able to sell flavored tobacco products and vaping products. So if you go into a bar that sells, I guess you're just going to see a bunch of vaping bars open up.
Yeah, but is that going to include that 75% tax?
Probably. I would assume so.
God, that's crazy. I would have to move.
Yeah.
Or just get my stuff shipped in, I guess.
All right. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Massachusetts, if you're listening, which I know you aren't, don't do that stuff, man. It's not cool.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Big not cool, bro. And then the last little bit, just Pennsylvania governor signs the tobacco purchasing age increase. We've seen this pretty much everywhere now. I think it's going to be across the board.
Yeah, I believe so. Which I'm not super worried about because we're past that age, but there's a lot of people that I know that I see getting passionate about cigars in the industry, and I'm pretty sure that by now we have expressed how passionate we are about cigars. When I see younger people want to actually get into it and express interest in it, and knowing that they may not be able to legally purchase anything until they hit 21, it's a little heartbreaking to me because I know I got into cigars when I was like 17. So I personally hate seeing this shit, but I do agree. I think it's going to be across the board before we know it.
Yeah. It's a bummer that you can go to war at 18.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
And you can't smoke a cigar until you're 21.
Yeah.
That's kind of annoying. It's already kind of a bummer that you can't drink. But now you can't smoke either. So, but hey, This is what they think will apparently stop whatever.
This is what's going to impeach Trump.
Oh Lord, well, we'll get into that on a different podcast. We'll leave that for Cigar Dave.
Enemies of pleasure.
And that's no disrespect to Cigar Dave. We
like him.
We love Cigar Dave, but that's more his forte than ours.
Reminds me of my first boss.
Oh yeah.
I really like my first boss too, but they look exactly alike. They even sound alike. Just manly men.
Kind of reminds me of John Taffer from from Bar
Yes.
Rescue.
Yeah.
On Spike TV.
Yeah.
What's this pairing doing for you, man? How's it working out for you so far?
Really good. I think, which usually never happens. I think I've actually smoked more of mine than yours, but you've been talking a lot.
Yep.
The nuttiness is still there. I mean, for me, Connecticut's typically starting with a nutty, woody note and end with the same note.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the flip flop in between, the transitions that I look for the most. This was a little bit sweeter. Now I I get a little bit of a coffee, like a lighter coffee. Still get like maybe like an almond or something,
Yeah.
kind of like a bitterness. And then I'd say kind of like a fruity note, and that could just be from the beer. You know what I mean? I've tasted fruity things in a cigar, like a Connecticut before.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be the cigar, but it could also be because it's pairing up with this really well. But cigar's light. The beer is like thicker. It's like a little bit more syrupy, but it's not a heavy beer. It's not like a stout or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it pairs perfectly with it consistency wise,
Yeah.
flavor wise.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm really loving this pairing too. Like you said, it's got that kind of nutty woodsy taste, a little bit of hay, just a bit. The cherry and the tartness complement that perfectly. Normally, I don't like the taste that a Connecticut wrapper leaves on my tongue.
Yeah.
But with this cigar, I don't get that at all.
No, it's just a very clean tasting cigar.
It's just really pleasant. Just about as light of a smoke as you can probably get.
Absolutely agree with that.
And that's okay. You know what I mean? Again, I like the Maduro just because I get some very rich, very bright flavors out of the Maduro.
Mm-hmm.
This is more subtle. Siri's just always picking up my.
Yeah, I'm gonna put her back there. Yeah.
So yeah, this is really great, and I really like that we paired it with these cherry pie lagers because it really just balances really nicely.
Yeah, it
doesn't overpower.
Yeah,
nothing's overpowering each other.
Definitely a good pairing. You know that I don't know if you ever have eaten cherry preserves or anything like that, but like the canned pie filling shit.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to just love to eat that shit out of a can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't do it anymore because IBS would just not work well. But eating it out of a can, But when you eat that cherry pie and like you get this tartness to it, but it's like a sweet tart. It's not like a sour tart. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like I'm drawing out of this. It's like a sweet, tarty, and again,
like I said,
like
the maraschino cherries you have, a little bit.
Yeah, like that.
Yep,
it's got like that pop to it. Man, it's so good. But
mm-hmm.
I'm really digging this. I agree. I mean, I knew right off the bat that I would like the Maduro more, but I would not be afraid to order to split another box of these. You know what I mean?
This would be such a good cigar to start out with.
This would be a good cigar with just a plain black coffee in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Waking up in the morning. Like, I almost feel like I could, like, smoke this on my way to work in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost wouldn't feel awful, like a stinky mess walking in, just because it's nice and light.
I never care about that anyways. They're lucky they get me there.
All right. So, our main topic of the night, that we hadn't even really prefaced, but I'm sure you're seeing it in the title of the YouTube video, which is our biggest cigar myths. We have 5. So we have 5 cigar myths, things that you hear about cigars or things that people say. Yeah.
It's things you find out about cigars.
Yeah, that may not necessarily be true that you were told, or vice versa. So I'll let you start out with our number one, or do you want me to just read them and you'll
Well, I
talk
don't have
about
them
them?
in front of me, so if you...
I got you. I'll read them then, because I came prepared.
Well, we're both going to talk about them.
Okay, I'm just messing with you. All right, so our number one cigar myth, and these aren't in any particular order, right? We didn't. It's not like one is more mythical than five.
I picked out 5 that I felt like I heard the most when I started out, or I still read about or hear about the most, and then just compiled them in a list. But I got them from various videos that I remember watching and different little like forums and stuff that I read. And I sent these over to Logan, but I just copy and pasted the actual myth and not the explanations per the website, because I mean, as always, this is our opinion on things, because I mean, everybody's palate's different, everything's different, so this is our outlook on it. So take it away.
Number one, the more you pay for a cigar, the better it is.
What do you think? True or false? And why?
Well, I mean, it's definitely false. It's a myth. I think so. We're talking myths. So I think all these are probably going to be false. But, I mean, it's not to say that it's always false, but I just don't think it's a hard rule that if I pay more for a cigar, it's going to be better. For instance, $7 cigar is always going to taste worse than a $10 cigar.
Yeah,
it's really not the truth. Taste is just one of those things that's super subjective. I mean, it really, again, you have cigars that are beloved by a lot of people, and some cigars, are not beloved by many people, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't someone out there who doesn't like it. And price, I mean, really doesn't matter. I mean, especially you find stuff on sale.
Yeah.
That's one thing that,
Yep.
Like we said, we just got a great deal on our Tyrannical Bucks, and they're fantastic cigars.
Yeah.
But for instance, the Warped. Help me with the name of the Warped that we just the Cloud Hopper.
Yeah.
Cloud Hopper is like what, a $7 and some.
Yeah, depending on where you get, it's like $6-7. Yeah.
That's a fantastic cigar.
Yeah.
That smokes better than a lot of 10, 12, sometimes $15 cigars.
I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah.
There's that one infamous video on YouTube that Brian Glenn, where he smoked that like $700 Gurkha.
Oh yeah.
In like a glass tube.
Yeah. He had like take 25 minutes just to get
it out of the tube.
Yeah.
And it was like some ridiculous price.
The band, I forgot, because the band stayed in the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
So you guys can look that up. It's like, I think it's one of his most watched videos.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
And that cigar is like, again, I can't even imagine smoking a $700 cigar or paying that for a cigar. And I can't imagine that it would taste that much different than a $7, that much better than a $7 Cloud Hopper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I can't see it that being the case, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, look, we talked about it, and I think we just talked about it not too long ago, and I brought up that my favorite cigar is the Last Czar by Caldwell.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on where you get that, I mean, that's a $15-$18 cigar, but then some of the other cigars that I really, really like that are pretty much consistently in my top 10, $6, $7, $8. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean anything to me as far as price goes. I don't go into a shop and look at a $5 cigar and say, yeah, I don't want that. Then go to like a fucking $20 Ashton cigar or something and say, this one's going to taste better. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that a lot of people do have that misconception. I mean, that's obviously why it's a myth. But just like everything, the computer that Logan has that he likes, that fits him, could be $600 more than the computer that fits me. You know what I mean? And I think it's the same way with anything. Like everything comes with its own price, but there's so many variations of things out there, because you have to find ultimately what you like. And I know we've talked about that before, And that's really what it comes down to. I mean, don't be afraid to try cheap cigars. Don't be afraid to drop some money on some expensive cigars. And if you tend to like more expensive cigars, then this myth, it's rings true to you.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But just like everything, it comes down to palate and it comes down to budget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just got one of our favorite brands. Both of us, we love Fratello. Got a 4-pack of those for $20,
mm-hmm.
which is $4 or $5 a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
And all those cigars. I haven't smoked them all yet, but I mean, every Fratello I've ever had, I've thoroughly enjoyed through and through.
Same.
Now, not all their cigars are $5, and that's a special deal with the pack. But
yeah,
again, look for your deals. You can it's all about finding what you can afford and what you like, and that balance between the two. I mean,
right. And you can hit up your local tobacconist. We'll recommend Brett Fry again because we always do.
Mm-hmm.
Tobaccology. You can find that guy on Facebook. You can shoot him a message, PayPal him, tell him some of the things that you are interested in. I mean, he could probably even whip you up a sampler of like some cheaper cigars and some more expensive cigars. Not to put words in Brett's mouth, but I know that he would be, more than happy to set people up. I mean, if it gets you more engaged to smoke cigars and it lets you explore some of the things that are out there to be offered, I know he'll do it in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
And I would suggest you actually do that if you're getting into it. So that's just my thoughts on it.
And as always, his link's in our description. So check out Tobaccology. Thanks again for the hat, Brett. So moving on to myth number 2, which I think is the one I think I hear most commonly, is Maduro cigars are stronger than cigars with lighter color wrappers.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that.
So this is a pretty common misconception. Definitely one that I fell for when I was first starting out. Maduro cigars, while they can be, stronger cigars, it can be strong in different senses. A lot of cigars I smoke that are Maduros, they're only, maybe mild bodied cigars, but the actual flavors that I get from them are stronger.
Right.
And those flavors, may be kind of light, pleasant flavors. It's not always just this heavy, put you to sleep, tobacco.
Nicotine bomb.
Yeah, exactly. So, for me, I tend to prefer Maduros because I like the flavors that I tend to get from them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people feel that way who are kind of seasoned cigar smokers. And I think that's where the misconception of it's a stronger cigar, you got to start with a Connecticut. Again, I was talking about earlier my buddy who has been getting into cigars, pretty wet behind the ears still. And, had been kind of basically been like, well, try these. And, kept kind of gravitating towards Connecticut because they're always lighter. And then gave him a Maduro tyrannical buck. And that was the one that just stuck. And he was, like, holy crap. That's a whole new ball
that
game.
right there just fits into what we're talking about because the tyrannical buck is actually known for being a powerhouse cigar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And smoking the Connecticut, I mean, I said this at the very beginning. This is more of a clean, earthy, nutty, woody cigar. The Maduro, to me, packed just more complex flavors and was a little bit more sweeter, I feel like. But I mean, I still think it comes down to the same thing, and I'll agree. When I started, I was like, oh, I want a Connecticut because lighter wrapper has to mean, and I feel like that's one of those things like you don't even hear really. You go in, you're like, this almost white cigar has to be lighter. You know what I mean? And then I started getting into other things, and now I prefer darker wrappers over anything because I think that they hold more complex flavors and they're just a more complex cigar as opposed to a lot of the Connecticut's that I've tried. So that's myth number 2.
Myth number 2, yeah. So don't be afraid to try a Maduro. I think,
Especially if it's the tyrannical buck.
yeah, especially.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely a misconception out there, whether, like you said, it stems from just natural thinking that a lighter cigar is that, or
Yeah.
if it is, I think there are some people out there who say, I smoke these dark cigars. It's like black coffee, like
Right.
it's like something that you puts hair on your chest or whatever. But
Right. Yeah.
one of those machismo things. But
Right.
I think the sooner you start to expand into Maduros, in different wrappers, just in general,
Mhm.
you'll start to realize that you don't always get a heavy, strong cigar out of those wrappers. A lot of time it boils down to the filler too.
I agree. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it does.
so yeah, don't be afraid to get out there and just try different things. Myth number 3: Cuban cigars are the best in the world. So we recently had a long conversation with 2 gentlemen
Yeah.
in DC when at a cigar bar, that they talked about how they pretty much only smoke Cubans. One lives in London, one lives in Dubai.
Yeah.
They're brothers. They basically have unlimited access to any Cuban cigar that they want. And they were almost, I won't say offended, but they were almost like, kind of like taken aback that we weren't smoking anything Cuban that night.
Mhm. Well, I think that also plays into, he said that their brick and mortars over in Dubai are nothing but Cuban cigars.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's all you're mainly subjected to,
Sure,
you
you would probably think
right.
that's the best in the world, but there's definitely a sort of stigma that the Cuban is the pinnacle of all cigars, which it may be to some degree.
Yeah.
I think everybody should enjoy a Cuban cigar in their life if
Yeah.
they like cigars. But that being said, I have smoked cigars not from Cuba that I liked better than cigars
Mhm.
from Cuba.
100%. Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm not saying that, they are always better or vice versa.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, they make these aren't grown in Cuba.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Yeah.
love these.
I mean, that still comes down to the whole everybody's palate's different too.
Mhm. Yeah.
I could sit here and say that Maduros are the best cigars, but
Mhm.
that's obviously just to me. You know what I mean? And that's what I like so much about the cigar industry is that there's something for somebody somewhere always.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
So as far as that goes, I mean, I would say I smoke probably more Cubans than you do. I have a nice little collection of Cuban cigars that I smoke. And I like them. I think they're a little bit more mild than what I like, but they still pack some flavor to them. They're a little bit more mellow, but I personally don't favor Cuban cigars.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, my favorite Cuban cigar is the Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure number 2.
Yeah.
And I think I like that one so much because it tastes it doesn't give me the profile of a lot of the other Cubans that I have had.
Yeah, I have one of those resting that I think we're saving for our Cuban episode.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever that's gonna be, but I haven't got to try that one yet. But
Courtesy of me.
yes, thank you for that. But that being said, the Cubans I have smoked, I've had a Bolivar. I'm drawing a blank on some of the others that I have had, but great cigars. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
Again, for me, what I prefer, tends to come from Nicaragua.
Yeah, I would say that if I could give anybody any advice going into smoking Cuban cigars, don't buy into all the hype. I mean, Cohiba is arguably the most thought of brand when you think of a Cuban cigar.
Yep.
Respectably, as I feel like they should be, but I feel like a lot of people hype up Cuban cigars. You see a lot of Instagram influencers smoking only Cubans and so forth. And, I don't really know the reason why, or I don't know if it's for views or what
I think
the
it's a
reason
status.
may be. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a status thing. Actually, I think these last 3 myths all kind of tie in together.
Mm-hmm.
That there's just sort of this there's this kind of lane of cigar smokers that are a little pretentious, I will say.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And they just it's like with anything. People get there's the elitist group of people. It's like with craft beer.
Yeah.
Or it's like with whiskey, or it's like with
anything.
just anything.
Right.
Cars.
Yeah.
Whatever dudes get into hobby wise. You start getting these people. It's like, you can only race Honda. You can only drive a Chevy. Whatever it is.
Right.
And so that kind of ties in, with myth number 4: cigar smoking is for the wealthy, which is completely not true because, I can only speak for myself, but I think you will agree that I am certainly not wealthy.
Yeah.
I don't think, unless you got some hidden wealth,
no.
We're well off.
Yeah.
We're not poor by any means.
Yeah.
We are able to enjoy our hobby because we work hard and have a job that, allows us to pay for things that we like.
Yeah.
But we are not swimming in it.
No.
At all.
I think that also, I feel like we pretty much already covered that sort of, but still, I still think that it also has its own different set of ideas from some people, which is why I included that.
Yep.
Because a lot of people, I mean, dude, I've seen it. We have a Facebook group. That's how I got started into the whole thing. I've come across a lot of people throughout my years of being in those. It's come and gone. And a lot of people are like, oh, how much for that? Oh, I can't afford that type of thing, blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm not going to boot you out of the group if you can't, afford to smoke some of the stuff that other people are smoking. But look for deals. Hit up your local tobacconist. Try to make it work for your budget. But you can also find cigars that suit your budget. I mean, we're very fortunate that we don't really have to. And I don't want to sound like an asshole when I say this, but we're very fortunate that we can pretty much afford any cigar that we want to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't, that's okay. Because at one point when I first started out, I couldn't afford it. That's, I was dropping $9 on a fucking acid Cuba.
Yeah.
Which I would never do. Well, we can't say it because we did do it recently for another video.
Check out that video if you want to see how that went.
But, look, man, I'll blast this one out there. Black Friday, cigars.com had some crazy good deals on box cigars, and one of
nice cigars.
One of my favorite cigars is the Norteño. We've talked about that a few times. I've smoked it several times around Logan. It's a great cigar. Willie Herrera is he's a goddamn genius. I've not had one cigar that Willie's had his hands on that I did not like. And the Norteño, and this was the Corona size that I like, $15 and change shipped for Black Friday with some codes that I used.
For a box
of 10. Right.
I got one too.
Yeah. You can't pass on deals like that either.
Yeah.
But like take advantage of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And take advantage of people in your groups. Get in Facebook groups, get involved in social media, get to know people, work out trades, try to, you can split boxes with people. We do that and we can afford a full box, but we still decide to split it.
Yeah.
You can do that stuff. And that's what I would encourage. That's why I love the presence that social media has in the industry, because everybody has everybody's back.
Yeah. And especially for cigar smoking, like to say it's for the wealthy it just cheapens the whole community because, some of the most down to earth, most regular people I've met through smoking cigars, just some of the nicest guys that are, some of them I'm sure are wealthy. Some of them I'm sure are not very wealthy,
Yeah.
We just sat here and told you that, we ain't Scrooge McDuck diving in our vault of gold coins when we leave here.
Right.
So, we're, leading into myth number 5, cigars are only for older men. We're not old.
I think both of those come from, you see people smoking cigars. You have Cigar Aficionado magazine.
Mm-hmm.
You see people like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You see people like Chuck Norris. You have a lot of celebrities smoke cigars. You see stuff like that, and you see Nick Jonas. You're like, I can never afford to smoke,
Right,
you
wear a
know, whatever
suit
there's, yeah,
and
wear
look.
wear a suit, you know. I mean, all right, you know, go grab yourself a suit from Peebles or some shit, and you know, light up a white owl. It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
about the experience, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, whenever dude, look, I've come across a lot of people that get into cigars, and I've seen them range from, I mean, come in my group at late teens all the way up to, we have people in the group, I know damn well they're in their like 60s, 70s,
Yeah.
dude, and they're still going, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
So you're not too young. Well, I guess technically, if they continue passing this bill, you'll be too young to legally smoke. But you're not too young to start smoking. You're not too old to start smoking. Don't stop smoking.
Nah.
Buy what you can buy. Mess around with various profiles and brands and blends and, you know, companies and websites and tobacconists. Find what works for you.
Yeah.
And fucking enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
And if you find yourself surrounded with these pretentious, old, wealthy Cuban cigar smokers who, you know, it always gets me when you see them on Instagram, they lay out, you know, not that we don't tag a product or two in ours,
Yeah,
but I mean, they go, you know, down to the orange juice in the carafe they're drinking.
Tampico.
Yeah, they've got it like
Tag Sunny D.
You know, just 100 million different things laid out, all fancy, like it's all perfectly arranged on the table. Like they just sit there and leave everything perfectly arranged.
Now those are probably the people that don't actually fucking smoke.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So if you're finding yourself like that, please come find us in Cigar Society, his group that he started. I'm there, he's there. A bunch of awesome people are there. And all you got to be able to put up with is a bunch of dudes being assholes to each other, because we love doing that. We love giving each other a hard time.
That we do.
As men do. And so if you can put up with that, we don't care if you're old, wealthy, poor, young, whatever. You know, just
we just want to see you smoke.
Yeah.
And if you're that interested in cigars that you're going to go and find a group and get into it, if you want to be a lurker, that's fine. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But we strongly encourage you to get active in the group, in any group. It doesn't even have to be my group. I'm not trying to put a shameless plug in there. You know, we've been pretty fortunate to grow the group, and you know, have a lot of kick-ass people that we met. I mean, through that group, I was able to meet a lot of people like Robert Holt, and you know, I was able to have a phone call with Kendall Culbertson, you know, Outlaw fucking Cigar, and that means everything to me. You know, but I hate when I see somebody get into it and then they almost get shamed out of it because they can't. And look, I'll bust your balls all day long if you're not smoking because of your wife. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you told me right now, hey man, I would love to smoke that, but I can't afford it, I'll fucking send you a cigar.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal to me.
Yeah, as long as you're genuine, as long as you're upfront about it.
Right.
You know,
but I don't want to ever know that somebody came into the group and was like, I can't smoke anything these guys are smoking. I feel like I don't fit in, and then peace out. Because that's not what we're about, and that's, to me, is not what the industry is about.
Yeah.
That's why you have companies that will make us a fucking $4 or $5 cigar, and they'll make an $18, $20 cigar. Because they're gonna do something for everybody, and every brand's gonna offer something. You just have to play around with it. You have to ask the questions. You have to kind of take the responsibility to get to know more about it. I mean, I did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that reminded me of a cool little interaction I had on the internet today. Again, just kind of a testament to the community. Or I guess it was yesterday. I put up a picture of a cigar and my PlayStation controller. So I was going to sit down and play PlayStation and smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
And I put it up on Reddit, actually. Don't really post there much, but occasionally just slap one up there. And it was just really cool. I had like a bunch of people, you know, message me and just say, oh man, like that looks awesome. You're smoking a cigar and playing PlayStation. Like that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Like don't see a bunch of people do that. Like one guy was even like, dude, add me on PlayStation, like so we can play together and smoke a cigar together and stuff like that. And that to me was just awesome. It was like, you know, some, you know, random stranger on the internet. You know, I'm a grown man. I can handle the strangers on the internet. I know the
in those chat rooms.
Yeah, I know the risks. But was just like, hey man, like that's awesome. I play PlayStation 2 and I also smoke cigars. we should play PlayStation and smoke cigars together.
Yeah.
And you know, I got his gamer tag, and we're gonna play Red Dead Redemption and smoke cigars. So
yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, me personally, I would probably scroll down and stop at that before I would stop and be like, "That's a gorgeous charcuterie board you have right there."
Exactly. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and I'm fat and I'm Italian. I love salamis and olives and shit. But look, man, if you're wearing $700 fucking jeans, $400 Chelsea boots, you're sitting in your Ferrari holding a fucking charcuterie board, and a $40 fucking cigar.
$700 bottle of scotch.
I already don't like you. And it's not because you have more money than me. It's just because, look, man, don't fucking flaunt it. Because you have people out there that are going to get involved in it.
Right.
They're going to see that this guy has a lot of followers. They're going to be like, I want to follow him. And then they're going to, because I got caught up in that when I first started smoking. I'm like, shit, who am I? I'm smoking this Perdomo Lot 23, which is a good cigar.
Yeah.
But, you know, who am I? I have other people out here.
Smoke a bowl of ours.
And I'm like, I want to be like them. Like, I think everybody needs to like tone it down a notch.
Yeah, it actually irks me how many
because you're an
Cubans I see on my timeline
on Instagram. That's like my biggest thing. You're an influencer. You know, I mean, you know, I'll post up, you know, with the accessories that I have or the drinks that I have. You know, I mean, I have a picture of a cigar that I smoked a couple years ago before I went to the beach, and I was eating some macaroons. Right. You know, but I'm not like they were on a fucking paper plate, you know, like because
we've drawn the Italian out, Joey. I'm macaroons. I was eating macaroons.
I'm just real and I'm genuine because I want people to just see what I do and know that you can enjoy this passion, without having to strap on some fucking Gucci belts and shit like that, you know. And that's my biggest pet peeve.
And if you're that guy, look, we don't necessarily hate you, but we just.
I mean, I follow a lot of them. I talk to them. They're cool,
sure.
but I'm just saying.
It is what it is. It is what it is. So there you have it. 5 cigar myths.
Makes me want a charcuterie board.
I tell you what, dude. At Thanksgiving, I had some salami and cheese that, believe it or not, I got from Walmart. But it wasn't like Walmart deli. It was like, I don't even remember what brand it was in the pack. But it had like that peppered salami. And it was freaking phenomenal.
They have Italian Lunchables. Have you seen those?
No.
They're not Lunchable. They're by like Hillshire, but they have like slices of cheese and like toasted rounds and shit like that. Salami.
There's nothing better than some salami, cracker, and cheese, man.
I'm telling you, man.
After we just shit on the people who eat it, but but I got mine at Walmart.
Yeah, we're fat, you know. Yeah,
I got mine at Walmart.
We didn't go to Publix.
Yeah. I can go to Wegmans, like
Wegmans,
like you rich folk.
Yeah, right.
All right,
so
yeah, man, I think that you know, kind of wraps it up for us. We got a couple last little talking points to talk about. So we're gonna be doing a giveaway starting tomorrow, and you're gonna have an opportunity to enter all the way up until Christmas Eve.
That is December 24th.
December 24th. It is for the U.S. only. I don't know that we have any non-U.S. viewers, but I'm just going to preface it by saying you got to be 21. You got to be in the U.S. because, you know, there's some legal ramifications there. But 21 in the U.S., we're going to put the link in the description of this video. And it's going to link you to a site that is just going to ask you to like us on Facebook, our Facebook page. And that immediately enters you. You'll just put in your name and email. And we are going to be giving away the JSK Tyrannical Buck, Maduro Generoso, and 4 other Tyrannical Bucks. Different Vitolas, Connecticut, and Maduro wrappers.
Yep.
So we'll probably I think we're going to end up giving you one of each.
Yes.
Vitola of the Tyrannical Bucks. And then, like I said, a mix of wrappers on that. So yeah, we're super excited to have this for you guys. You know, our following is growing. It's growing steadily. You know, hasn't been as rapid as we'd like it to be, but we do have, you know, some consistent views on this, and we want to strive to continue building it. And
Correct.
We want to give back to you guys, especially during the holidays. So we talked about some of you may not be able to afford the fanciest, nicest cigars. These are pretty nice cigars.
Yeah.
I think they retail for
they're about $9 and change.
$9-10, something like that. and we want a chance to share them with you guys. So we'll be sending that $5 out. You'll have 30 days to claim it. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because we're going to announce the winner on one of the podcasts once we have that taken care of. So yeah, again, link will be in the description. Check that out. Other than that, tell them where they can find us.
Well, as mentioned, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. Just search Kickin Ash. You can find us on Instagram at Team Kick Ash. Again, just search Kickin Ash for that. We are on Spotify. And today, just announced, we're pretty hyped about this.
Yes.
We are now on Apple Podcasts. So you can find us on your iPhone. You can just search podcasts. You search Kickin Ash Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And all 8 of our episodes are already up and streaming. You can listen to those. I listened to them on the way home, kind of like that, monitor and recorded for quality purposes type of deal. I listened to that, and our quality is only getting better every time we go. And honestly, I like listening to us because we're just all over the place, and we're not super structured. And we're what I'd like to call a beautiful mess.
Yes.
And I like it. And
absolutely.
You're not going to find anybody else wearing the sweater with a deer drinking his beers.
If you had told me that it was sweater day, I would have
didn't
gone and got a sweater.
I'm a little behind on laundry because you haven't been at work for fucking 8 days. Been a little busy.
Yeah, I've been off for a while. It's been kind of nice, guys. So
after he just got back from vacation, mind you.
Yeah, I went right from one vacation.
This guy works 4 hours. It's coming back from vacation.
Yeah,
still off tomorrow.
It has been nice, but so yeah. Also, don't forget StinkyCigar.com.
Promo code Kickin Ash.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
And they have a contest going on right now. You can also get 33% off. That contest is going until December 12th. We are only going to talk about it. We'll make some posts frequently between now and then. But aside from this episode, we're only going to talk about it one more time, and that's on next week's episode. When is the 12th? What day is the 12th?
The 12th is not this upcoming Thursday, but the following.
Okay, cool. So after, because we shoot on Mondays, but usually it doesn't get edited and posted up until Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep.
So we'll probably aim to try to get this one up by like Tuesday. So that way, by the time you guys watch it, you'll be reminded again. Mm-hmm. But if you can get in on a contest and win a free Stinky, and if you can also get 33% off, I mean, that's a stellar deal. And I'm pretty sure that I was informed that they're going to see about getting Kickin Ash promo code to be able to be mixed in with a 33% off.
Don't hold us to it, but we'll check into that.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, really, let's just let's give them these final notes on this JSK and wrap this bad boy up, man. Because I think we're about at that time.
Yep. Not much has changed. Still very nutty, very almond-like. The tartness has kind of died down. Still a little bit of a dried fruit note to it. Little nutty, little sweetness. Kind of like a plain sweet, so kind of maybe like just like a straight sugar almost. It's kind of like syrupy. Smooth cigar, good output. I mean, the draw for me was a little bit tight, but not enough that I was even worried about using my perfect draw or anything. Draw was still good. Smoke output. I mean, the burn line has been pretty dead on.
Yeah.
I had it touched up once, but again, that's probably just from talking. But killer cigar. I mean, again, still prefer the Maduro, but the Connecticut is just, I mean, it's a beautiful cigar.
Yeah, I would say getting towards the end of this, I found some of those flavors from the Maduro, especially in the retrohale.
Mm-hmm.
I am getting a little bit of cocoa, a little bit of coffee.
Yeah.
Definitely getting that nuttiness and that woodsy note.
I agree.
But it is kind of richer as it goes towards the end, just a tad. We didn't really talk about the construction, but the construction has been pretty phenomenal. Really haven't had to touch this up. I was talking a little bit, so it went out on me, but that was just because I was running through the news.
That's one thing I'd give JXK is
their
construction has been spot on. Every cigar I've had has always performed well.
So. Absolutely. I found my draw to be looser than the one I had on the Generoso. I don't know if that's due to this V cut that I did. Being a little deeper.
Could be.
On this small Vitola. So my draw is actually right where I want it to be. So yeah, I'm gonna say with this one, 4.7 kick-ass donkeys out of 5, which is high for me on a Connecticut.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I gave the original Maduro on our first episode, but I know that has now moved up to a 5 for me.
Yeah.
It's just a 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is.
So this is just right behind that.
I would say I'd give this probably like a 4.2.
Okay.
You know, not a bad rating at all. But after smoking this, after the Maduro, it's just damn near impossible to want to even give it that close to the Maduro.
Sure.
But, for a Connecticut, this is super amazing.
Yep.
And I really enjoy it.
Yep. So make sure you guys check out
yeah.
JSK Yasum Kral.
Yasum Kral.
And
Tyrannical Buck.
Boom. So yeah, with that being said, have a kick-ass day.
What he says.